What's your number one or your biggest question about using video in your coaching business? What's your number one question or challenge? Your number one or your biggest question or challenge about using video in your coaching business? If you could, go ahead and write your answer into the chat box. Again, for those of you that might be watching a recording of this, please go ahead and respond in the messaging system, or you can even send me an email with your answer to this. This is very important. And the reason is that I've been doing video for decades, and I would like to know what your number one challenge is, your biggest questions, your biggest challenges, so that I can help you. And I know that I can help you because I built an entire online business, six-figure business, using purely video. So that is 100% of my clients have told me that they found me and hired me as a result of watching my videos. So I know not only that it's possible, but that it's something that actually will help you, and it will help your clients. It'll help your clients find you, right? And it'll help you as well. So what's your number one biggest question or challenge regarding using video in your coaching business? So that's the first question that I want you to answer. Type that into the chat box, or send me an email, or if you see this posted someplace, you can actually reply and leave your answer there. Okay? So let's take a look at a couple of things here. And we're going to jump right in. The first thing that I want you to know is that we are going to cover three things in this webinar, minimally. Three things. Have you ever gone to a webinar and they told you that they were going to tell you a bunch of stuff, and either they didn't, or what they told you was more salesy material? There was really not much training or teaching, so it kind of wasted your time, even though it might have been a great product, but you didn't get what you necessarily came to get. So I want to make sure that I honor your time, and I want to make sure that I give you exactly what I promised you when you registered. So we're going to talk about at least three things in this video, okay? At least three things. The first is I'm going to give you 3 steps that you can use to make sure that your coaching business doesn't become irrelevant, right? I give you 3 steps to make sure your coaching business doesn't become irrelevant. So 3 steps to make sure your coaching business does not become irrelevant. The second thing that we're going to talk about is how you can actually flood the market, right? It's a strategy that you can use to make sure that you and your coaching business and your message becomes irresistible. That is, people can't help but see you. The people that are looking for you can and will be able to find you and see and hear your message using my strategy called the Flood the Market strategy. We're going to talk about that. And then the third thing that we're going to talk about is, if you've tried to do videos before, if you've done videos and your videos feel kind of flat or boring, it's just not you, right? Or if you feel video shy, right? You just feel kind of shy, then we're going to talk about a few things, a few steps that you can actually take to overcome that, okay? Because that's actually very, very normal. So those are the things that we're going to do this morning. Number one, we're going to talk about 3 steps that you can use to make sure your coaching business doesn't become virtually irrelevant. Number 2, we're going to talk about the Flood the Market strategy. And then number 3, we're going to share with you some strategies and some tips that you can use to make your videos more authentic, more you, right? All right. So now, before we do that, let's go ahead and take a look at those questions, okay? I want us to take a look at those not actually questions, but they're some statistics that I want you to see. Okay, so we're just going to briefly take a look at this. Shoppers, right, who view video are 1.8 times more likely to purchase than non-viewers. So in other words, If someone's looking for something, and this is critically, like these numbers are not numbers I'm just putting up here just to bolster or to fill or to give you some data. They're critical to you as a coach, right? So let's talk about why. But 1.8 times more likely to purchase than non-viewers. Why? Well, one of the reasons is because if someone spends time watching a video, probably means they're pretty interested, right? They want to know more. They've probably scanned the reading material, looked over the bullet points, and then they want more. They want to see how this thing works. They want to see a demonstration. They want to see how it works. So for you, as a coach, right, and there's some other data that that talk about the power of video, but for you as a coach, when someone's looking for someone to help them, they want to look into your eyes. They want to see your face, right? So they're going to be far more likely to hire you if they can see you and hear you than if they couldn't. Does this make sense? What else? Retailers, and these are retailers, cite that there's a 40% increase in purchases as a result of video. So this reinforces the first one that we talked about, right? In an eye mapping study, it shows that video results commanded more attention than other listings. So when people are looking through things and they see a video, boom, kind of captures their attention. What else? So there's been a prediction that by 2017, next year, 74% of all internet traffic is going to be video. It's going to be more and more video. What does this say for you? This says that if you're not doing video, and all things being equal, your colleagues, your competitors are doing video, guess who's going to get more clients? People that are doing video. Now, you can still get clients the old way. And the old way is also a good way, right? But it's far less efficient. It's far less efficient. So what's the old way? Well, one of the old ways is actually getting in your car and going around to networking meetings. This is very, very important. Some very big deals are done that way. So I'm not diminishing the importance of face-to-face, right? Working with people one-on-one. I can tell you that in some cases, there are people in other parts of the country and other parts of the world who will use your business, but if they can't find you, then they have no way to hire you. In my speech coaching business, I can tell you that most of my initial clients were from other parts of the country, but most of them were actually from other parts of the world. My first client was actually from India, a very wealthy client, and other clients were from other parts of the country. So if I actually had to drive around and do networking, I might have not been in business, right? So for the first year or two, maybe even 2 years, the vast majority of my clients were from other countries. Do you see the power? Are you starting to see the power of video? So again, I can't go travel there. I don't even know where there is, right? These are from places, some of which I'd never heard of. Video is extremely powerful for getting you out into places that you might not even know of. All right, let's take a look at something else here. Give me just a second to get to this next one. Okay, so let's talk about the importance, right? The importance of why you need to use video, why you're going to want to use video. Three companies that I researched. There are many, many more, right? But three big companies declared bankruptcy. You got Kodak, Borders Books and Music, Blockbuster Video. At least these three companies declared bankruptcy. Why? Because they failed to keep up with the technology. And there were other companies coming along, Amazon and Netflix and iTunes through Apple, right, that were using technology in ways that these companies said, I don't really need to do that, right? And so they waited too late to try to adapt and adopt the technology, or they didn't do it at all, and they had to declare bankruptcy. So when I say use video or go out of business, I'm pretty serious that you might be able to stay in business, but you're probably not going to be as profitable as you really want and need to be to stay in the business. Many people are going to have to go out and get jobs, right? Because they're just not generating enough revenue, or because they're spending way too much time driving around to this session and that session and doing this and doing that. For some coaches, that's the way, that's the primary way that you're going to get your business, right? Is shaking hands. For other coaches, you more than likely can generate a lot more business if you go global. Now, let me tell you about a coach that I talked to just several days ago. And she has just a couple of videos out there. And here's what happened. One of her clients, I want you to listen to this, one of her clients recommended her to Dr. Phil, right? Dr. Phil. And here's what she told me. She said that the first thing they did, the producers did, was went and looked at her what? What do you think they looked at? They looked at her video, right? They looked at her video. So when they posted her bio, the second thing that was there was a link to her video. And she didn't have that many videos, right? The second thing that they posted, which showed the priority of it, was a link to a video that she did. She said that she is almost sure she probably wouldn't have gotten a spot on that show had she not had a video. Videos are critical. Even if you don't use a lot of video, videos are very important for you, okay? So now, let's jump right into the meat of this webinar. 3 steps that I'm going to give you for making sure that your business does not become, that your coaching business doesn't become irrelevant. 3 steps. And I'll write these down for you, but you can listen to me and you can write these down as well. You want to make sure that your business doesn't become virtually irrelevant. How do you do that? Step 1, you want to make sure that you start becoming more visible online. So our first step is for you to become more visible online, okay? Become more visible online. You got to start showing up more online. Does this make sense? This is 3 simple steps, right? I said there's going to be something complicated. I said it was going to be simple. This is very simple, but it's very powerful. You have to start showing up more online. And what this means is that there are various ways that you can show up online, but this means that you need to establish a greater presence online, and not just in articles and written articles. Why? Because when someone is looking for someone to share intimate information with, right? When you're in a coaching relationship, you need to trust that person. They're not just going to be looking for an article. They're going to want to see, especially that more and more people are using video, they're going to want to see who it is they're going to be working with, right? Before, maybe that wasn't a big issue, but it's going to start becoming one. So the coaches that position themselves now in a way where people can see you and they can listen to you and benefit, those are going to be the ones that benefit the most, right? So you need to start becoming more visible online, just showing up more online. Number two, you're going to want to become, let's see here, you're going to want to become more relevant. So you want to increase your visibility, and number 2, you want to increase your relevancy. Now, become more visible, become more relevant. You might want to write these down, okay? Visibility, relevancy. What do I mean when I say relevant? Well, I can be visible, but if I'm not saying anything important, then I'm not relevant, right? So I can show up all day long. I can have videos, I can put out articles. If I'm not relevant, then it's not having an impact. I might even be reaching my ideal audience, my ideal clients. But if what I'm saying isn't relevant to them, if it's not important to them, then it's not going to make the impact. I'm not going to get hired. Does that make sense? So there are things that you and I need to do as coaches to make sure that we are more and more relevant. And this is a process, right? It's a process that we go through. It's a process that you and I can go through to become more and more relevant, okay? Now, what is that process? Well, I'll just share this with you quickly. You survey, you simply ask questions. And sometimes people are not going to answer you. That's okay. You keep asking in various ways, various places. So what did I do at the very beginning of this webinar? Now, some of you may not answer that question. That's okay, but I know some people will. As what's your number one or your biggest challenge or question regarding using video in your coaching business? Survey question. So for those of you that answer that, what you're doing is you're enabling me to serve you better, right? To help you better by providing you the resources and the information that you need to start becoming more visible and more relevant to your ideal clients. So I simply ask you a question. And again, various ways for you to do this. First step is become more visible. Second step is become more relevant. And here's the third one. Here's the third one. Become more transformational, okay? Become more transformational. Become more transformational, okay? Become more visible, more relevant, more transformational. By transformational, what do we mean? What we mean by transformational is you want to seed the market. That is, you want to put some content into the market. You don't want to put all your stuff, but you want to put some content into the market that actually helps your audience make a change, a transformation. Does this make sense? Okay. You want to put stuff out there that's actually transformational. So don't just advertise, don't just put out information for information's sake. You want to put something out there that literally helps them, that changes a mindset, changes a belief, right? That helps to change a belief, that helps to change an attitude, it helps to change a perspective. So you want to put something out there that's transformational. So when you go and you combine all these things, right? If you combine all these things, what you're going to get this is an extremely powerful force, right? Where you are becoming more visible, you're becoming more relevant, and you're becoming more transformational. Does that make sense? Okay. So the second thing that we're going to cover today is how you can flood the market. And flooding the market is simply a way to amplify this right here, right? Flood the market. So let's talk about how you can flood the market and what does that mean? And why is that important to you? Flood the market. What does it mean and why is it important to you? What you want to do when you flood the market is you're going to be amplifying your visibility, your relevancy, and your transformational ability, right? You're going to be amplifying that by, when I say flood the market, what comes to mind? What do you think I mean when I say flood the market? When I say flood the market, what I mean is you're going to systematically and consistently put more and more content into the market so that you become an irresistible force. That is, people can find you. You have more information than anyone else, more helpful information than anyone else on the market. Give an example. Many of my clients hire me because they say that they went and they searched YouTube, and this was back when it was easier to get rankings in YouTube, but they went and they searched, and they found that I had more videos than anyone else. I have over 300 and some videos, almost 400 just on YouTube and hundreds in courses, okay? So what happens then is that people can see, okay, this guy's serious. He really cares. He's putting out some great information for free, right? All of the stuff he's putting out, a lot of the stuff he's not even charging for. He really does care. And a lot of it's relevant. It's transformational. I've used this and I've gotten people to tell me that they used this technique or that technique and it changed their life. They got jobs, they got into college, they finished their PhD from free information as well as from paid information. So you flood the market with your content, with your transformational content. Now, what you want to make sure that you do in flooding the market is you want to make sure that you do so in a way that the people, that your ideal audience can find you, right? So you don't want to flood the market over here, and this is not even your market. You want to flood your market. And again, that's a process, right? Figuring out, well, who is my audience and where do they hang out? And let me go flood their hangout. Now, I know that may sound bad, but it's not bad because you know that what you're doing can serve them, it can help them, it can change their life. If you really believe that, then you'll put as much information out there in front of them as possible, right? So people would say, so I searched and I found your videos and I just started watching your videos and boom, that's what did it. So you want to flood the market. So flooding the market amplifies your visibility, your relevancy, and your transformational ability. You start showing up more than everyone else. You start showing up more than everyone else, okay? All right. Let's take a look at the third thing that we said that we were going to talk about, okay? And that is, you may have tried to do videos before, you may have done videos before, and it may have felt kind of fake or kind of awkward or weird, or maybe you felt flat and boring, right? Or maybe just shy about actually putting yourself out there in the world, right, globally on a video. I'll tell you this, I've had people give me all kind of critiques, right? All kind of feedback. Some of it was good, some of it was not good. Some of it was good, but I wasn't ready for it yet, so I saved it until later. I've had people tell me, speed up, right? Talk too slow. But for my particular audience, speaking slow was a big benefit. In fact, they said, Michael, you're one of the only English speakers that I can understand. Everyone else, I can't understand. They don't articulate well. They speak too fast. I'm not saying I'm the best speaker, the best articulator in the world, but thousands of people have told me the same thing. So what does that mean? That means that for my audience, I was speaking at about the right rate of speech, right? So whoever your audience is, you are going to have to judge feedback. So someone might say, oh, you should do this and make sure you don't do this and speed up or slow down. And you have to figure out what's the best speaking style for your audience. Does this make sense? So you're going to get feedback that's helpful and some that's not. I've had people, excuse the word, I've had people call me a nigger, called me a monkey, called me all kinds of things. I've had people just say really, really mean things. That's going to happen to you. I've had people say, oh, your music's too loud. Okay, well, my music was too loud. I used to have music in the background sometimes. Okay, it was too loud. So people give you great feedback that you need to listen to, and some will be just irrelevant, and some will be stuff that you're not ready for. So make sure that you understand that when you put yourself out there, you're not always going to get positive feedback, right? That's just a part of the game. That kind of feedback has diminished drastically now that I'm out there and I'm more confident and I've listened to a lot of the feedback. One of my colleagues said, hey, Michael, I don't really like the background over here and this or that. And I was like, you know what? I kind of like the background, but let me just try a different background. And it's great. It was a great idea. I'm not going to say I didn't like it. I didn't necessarily agree with it, but it was a good piece of feedback. So I listened. There's some other feedback the person said that I said, no, I don't really agree with that, but it's great feedback. So I didn't make that change, right? So that's very important to you. So let me give you a few steps that you can take to start becoming more authentic on video, right? That you can use to start becoming more authentic more authentic on video. So a few steps. Number one, speak into the eyes of the camera. Learn how to speak into the eye of your camera. So if you have a video camera, like right now, in fact, in my course and in my training, I'll show you all the tools that you need to do live video like this, as well as recorded video. One of your best tools is going to be this, right? It's going to be your mobile device, HD quality video, easy, boom, you can do this. So my camera has an eye, right? It's an eye. And if it's far enough away, I can just look in and I can look at myself, so I can monitor myself. But if not, I can look at the eye. What's the eye? The eye is the camera. So you want to practice looking into the eye of your camera. Just like right now, I'm looking right into your eyes. So I imagine that the eye of the camera is the eyes of my audience, or the eyes of one person. I'm looking right into your eyes as I'm speaking. Now, sometimes I have to look someplace else because I'm monitoring my computer over here, I'm looking at a slide or doing something, right? But for the most part, I want to try to be looking into your eyes. So you want to practice doing video, looking into the eye or the eyes of the camera, and imagining that, in fact, it's your client. It's a client that you're speaking to. If you're not good at speaking with audiences, imagine it's one person. If you like speaking to small groups, or if you're great speaking off camera, then imagine it's an audience, right? And that just takes practice. Number two, record yourself. Record yourself. These are some of the same steps that I share with my speech clients. For years. It's extremely powerful. They tell me this works like magic. Record yourself. Why? A few reasons. One, when you record yourself, you actually get to go back and watch and evaluate yourself. You go, wow, okay, I didn't have a lot of energy there. Sometimes I don't have all the energy that I want, but I do it anyway, right? So you're going to go back and say, okay, I could have done that better. And the more you watch your own videos, guess what? The more used to yourself you become. If you're not used to seeing and hearing yourself, then it's kind of like a shock, right? It's a shock. It's like, whoa, I don't like that. I don't like the way. But the more you do it, the more you become used to it, and the more you improve and the more you work on it, the better you actually like yourself on video. And the more you like yourself on video, watch this, the more you project that high self-esteem and high self-confidence on video. So the more you watch yourself, and the more you improve, you give yourself feedback and you get feedback, and then you keep watching yourself, the more comfortable you become, the more confident you become, the more you like yourself. The more you like yourself, the more you project that on video. And the more you project that on video, guess what? The more other people experience that, right? They're like, wow, this person's really confident. They have a presence on video. Does this make sense? Number three, and the final one, simply shoot and share more heartfelt videos. Shoot and share more heartfelt videos, just little short videos. Think about something that you're passionate about and share that. Something that really helped you, some experience, and share it from the heart. Don't make it long. Keep it short at first, right? Keep it short. What's short? 60 seconds, 90 seconds, no more than 2 minutes. There are some videos that need to be shorter than that. And we'll talk about those in the training. But I'm going to shoot and share more short, heartfelt, because when you're passionate about something, you can't hide that. That passion comes out. You project that. You communicate that to your audience. I hope that was helpful. So let's just do a brief review. I want to just pop a couple of things up here, and then we will go and look at some stuff, and we will also take some time to answer some questions. I want to make sure that we're done by 12 o'clock. So we talked about 3 simple techniques that you can use to protect your coaching practice. And that was, you want to become what? More, starts with a V, more visible. You want to become more relevant. You want to become more transformational. Okay, so we talked about that. We also talked about flooding the market. Flooding the market. So what was that? You systematically, excuse me, Start showing up more often, right? More often, amplifying your visibility and your relevancy, okay? So we talked about that. And then feeling a little video shy or flat, very, very normal. 3 things. Number 1, speak into the eyes of the camera. Number 2, record yourself so that you get used to yourself. Number 3, that should be shoot and share more heartfelt videos, okay? Shoot and share more heartfelt videos. So what I'm going to do now is, if you feel like this has been helpful for you, I want you to do a couple of things for me. Number 1, I want you to answer that first question for me. And the first question, and to go back to it, is what's your number 1 or your biggest question or challenge regarding using video in your coaching business? I want you to answer that for me. That will help me to help you much more. I'm also going to go shift over to my desk. And for those of you who would like to stay, we're going to do 2 more things before we wrap up at 12. Number 1, I want to share with you something that I've been putting together. And what is that? It's a way for me to work with you to help you become more visible, to help you do what I've been doing, right? And what have I been doing? I've been helping tens of thousands of people, if not more than that, I'm sure more than that, around the world. I've been able to create a business that gives me the freedom to work from anywhere, to literally work from anywhere using video and the other technology. So I'm leveraging myself. I've created online courses that leverage my time and my ability and also increase the value of my coaching. I can help you do all these things. I've been doing it for years and years and years. So it's like second nature to me. If this is something that you know you need to do, and I can tell you, you don't want to be like Kodak or Blockbuster supporters and wait until all of a sudden I've got to go get another job or I'm just barely making it. If you're a coach and you don't want to develop or get a master's degree in marketing, the strategies that I'll be sharing with you are relatively simple, right? There are other people that are Facebook masters, and so we just hire them to do their stuff. But the things I'm going to be sharing with you are simple. It gets you out there. It helps the people that you want, your ideal clients, find you. So I just want to share with you a few things. I want to ask your opinion on something. So I'm going to switch over to my desk and invite you, for those of you that like to stay, I'm going to invite you to check out a way for me to help you help more of your clients. I'm very passionate about this because I know that there are some of you, many of you out there watching this video who you're passionate about helping people. You want to help people. You have helped people and you can help more people. But the only people you're helping now are the people that you can get to on your own, or the few people that see this ad or see that. You could be helping hundreds and thousands of people. I want to see you do that, and I can help you do it because I've personally done it, right? So I want to help you do that. So I want to show you something that will allow me to do that. Is that okay? Just give me a few minutes. Then the second thing we're going to do is answer your questions, if you have any questions, okay? So give me just a moment to transfer and move over. And I'm also going to be switching cameras here, so hopefully this this goes okay. All right, so I know that you can't see me yet. I'm going to see if we can switch cameras, and you should be able to see me now. Okay, the other thing that we're going to do here is I want to go ahead and share my screen with you to show you something. So give me just a moment. All right, to do that. Okay. All right, I'm going to share my screen with you again. And we're going to flip over here, a couple of screens. Okay, so what I want to invite you to, and I'm going to pop a link up on here, and I'm going to also send you an email. It's a program that I've been working on, And it has to do with helping you boost your reach. That is getting you out there in front of the people who want and need to see you. And there are several parts to this program. One is how to set up your own mobile studio. So I'm going to be showing you stuff like how do you get and why should you have kind of a desktop tripod, and how you can use your mobile device as well as a either wireless or wired mic to get high quality sound. I'll be showing you that. What's the equipment that you need? You're going to need a special adapter to hook up certain kinds of microphones. What is that? You're going to need a certain bracket to put your phone or your iPad in. What is that? Where do you get it from? How much does it cost? I'll show you that. I'll give you that list. You might have questions about how do I hook all of this up. So we'll do that. Second thing that we're going to do, give you an exercise to help you develop content. Some people say, well, I don't really know what to say. Do I have enough information to give people on video that's relevant, that's transformational? Give you an exercise that will quickly help you do that. Number 3, how to be your best self, how to be authentic on video. I have a systematic process that you can go through so that you really don't have to use notes. You really don't have to use slides. Today, I could have did this without any slides, but I wanted to. So you can do, it's a preparation and practice process, a system I've been using for years, not only myself, but that I teach. And I'll be sharing that with you so that you can become more relevant, right, and more authentic on video. 4, how to shoot videos without editing. A couple little tricks that you can do so that you can shoot videos and not have to do a bunch of editing and have a lot of software. I'm going to advise you to get a certain kind of software in case you want to add something, but you don't have to. I'll show you how to do that. Flood the market. We just talked about that. We'll go into it a little deeper. Strategically, what do you do and how do you do it and how often do you do it? We're going to talk about how to explode your visibility on Facebook. There's 2 major markets right now. There are more emerging markets, but 2 areas, say 3 or 4 really, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Instagram, right? Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook, right? 2 major ones right now. And YouTube is what we call active search. I'm looking for something. How do I do this? Go to YouTube. Facebook is passive discovery. Oh, what is this? Oh, this looks interesting. Let me click on that. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, let me buy this. Passive discovery. How can you boost and explode your visibility and presence on Facebook as well as on YouTube? I'm going to show you a specific kind of ad, video ad that you can create for Facebook called the Power Shifter ad. It's a very special ad that you can create to help boost your visibility, but also to shift people over to where they need to be, right? And then I've got some awesome bonuses for you, and I'll just share a couple of those with you. One, some of you are going to want to create courses using video. I can show you how to do that. Some of you might want to create audios, and I'll tell you why you need to be creating audios for your clients, right? I can show you how to do that. What are the tools that you need? What are the technological tools that you need to run your online coaching business? I can show you how to do that. So here's the thing. For those of you that want to check this out and you want to have a conversation with me, then you are going to want to click on the link that I show you right now. I'm going to show you this link here. You're going to want to click on the link. I'm also going to send it to you by email. Okay, I'm going to send it to you by email and schedule a conversation with me. Some of you are going to say, you know what, this is right for me. I trust Michael, and boom, I want to do this. Some of you are going to have some questions, and when you click on this link, it's going to take you to a page that gives you all the information that you need. But if you have additional questions, there's a link there for you to schedule a conversation with me. And we'll get together and we'll talk and make sure you get your questions answered. I had 10 slots open just a week ago, and now I have 8, possibly 7. There's one other person I'm expecting to enroll today, have a conversation tomorrow. So I only have 10 slots open right now because I want to give more one-on-one personalized attention to these first 10 people. And what about after the 10, where you're still going to get personalized one-on-one type attention, right? So in other words, when you come into this, it's not just going to be this massive horde of people that you just come into and you get lost and you don't get stuff done. No, you're going to come in, you're going to be able to ask your questions about your business, and you're going to set up the kinds of videos that you need for your business to reach your people. Does that make sense? The first 10 are going to get a lot of extra stuff, a lot of extra attention. That's why you want to go ahead and enroll now, because I have a lot of experience to share. And for these first 10 people, I'm going to be throwing a lot of bonuses in that probably will turn out to be separate courses. Very, very valuable stuff. And it works. And it works. Okay. All right. So now, do you have questions? For those of you that are here now, one of the advantages of attending live is you get to ask questions. So let me just see if there's anyone. Okay, so there was one comment a little earlier from Stephanie. Actually, she's a very good friend of mine, and we have worked together for years. And so she said, on Periscope or Facebook Live, the picture of myself is distracting. That's a great comment. It can be distracting. Some people don't like to look at themselves. Like right now, I'm not looking at myself, I'm looking at the camera. I can see my picture, I can see my video, but I'm not looking into my own eyes. I'm looking into the camera. A part of it is just getting used to it. When you do it enough times, you can get used to it, and it won't be as distracting. The other thing is focus on your audience. Focus on your audience, right? That's who you're there to serve. That's who you're there to speak to, is your audience. It's not about you, it's about your audience. So when you focus on communicating as powerfully, as effectively as you can to your audience, all the other stuff starts to fade away. What are they thinking about me? Is there anything on my nose, right? What about my hair? I don't like the way I look. You forget about that stuff, although you want to make sure you don't have anything in your nose. But what you want to do is you want to focus on serving your audience, okay? Any other questions or comments? If not, we will wrap it up. And again, for those of you that might be watching this as a replay, get this link, check it out, schedule a conversation, become a part of this first 10, because you're going to get a lot more than what you see. And I can guarantee you that if you follow my recommendations and my suggestions, you are going to have a very, very powerful presence online, and you're going to have it before a lot of your colleagues and a lot of the competition, because a lot of people are afraid to do video, afraid to be exposed, don't like the way they look or sound. They've tried video before, it didn't work out. What about the technology? What technology do I use? All of those things we're going to take care of. We're going to just blast those things out of the way so that you can get out there and start reaching your clients. So here's something else that I want to ask you, and then we'll wrap it up. I wanted to ask you, when you look at this screen here, I'm going to pop back over here. I'd like for you to tell me which of these, if any, are most important to you. Is the technology? How do you set it up? How do you get the videos off your phone or off your tablet, off your computer, up to YouTube? How do you optimize it? How do you get it on the Facebook? How do you get it into Pinterest? Content. What about content? How do you develop content? Is that very, very important to you? How do you become authentic on video? Maybe that's like your number one thing. I don't like to do editing. Maybe that's important. How do you create videos that people really want to see, right? How do you create videos that people want to see? That can be very important. Presence, how do I really get my videos out there, right, on a consistent basis? How do I use Facebook and YouTube? How do I do video ads? How do I create a course? Which of these would be the most important? If you give me like the top two, maybe even the top three or the top one, look at these and tell me which are the most important for you. Okay. All right. So I believe we have covered everything. Really enjoyed spending this time with you. Again, those of you that are here and those of you that will be watching this as a replay, here is the link. I'm going to share this link with you again. Okay. And you should be able to see this. There's the link. I'm going to leave this on the screen for just a minute or two. I'm going to also read it. I created a short link for you, and you can just, I don't think you need to type in the HTTPS, but https://goo.gl/capital Z, lowercase h, capital B, 1, 4, capital W. So you can see this, and I'll also send you a link. Now here's one that will also be easier for you to remember. It's michaelwilliamsonline.clickfunnels.com. michaelwilliamsonline.clickfunnels.com. Now, no, you will not be able to click on this link, but you can write the link down. You can write it down, and I'll send it to you by email. Okay, unfortunately it's not clickable. So michaelwilliamsonline.clickfunnels.com/boost-your-reach-now. Okay, michaelwilliamsonline.clickfunnels.com/boost-your-reach-now. That's the longer URL, but it might be a little easier to write down and remember. The shorter one is on the screen. Write that down, and I'll send you a recording, and I'll send you a link. Okay, so hopefully this has been helpful for you. I know this has been helpful for me. I've used everything that I've shared with you today, and also shared this with other people, and it's been helpful for them. Okay, so does anyone else have any additional questions before we wrap up? Any additional questions? Any additional questions? Okay, if not, then I'll be sending out a recording and look forward to speaking with you soon.